Good morning, physical education students. We are so thrilled for you to be here at Framingham High School. Whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior, I'm sure this is going to look a whole lot different than what you either remember and or what you anticipate for all of our new students. But I'm here to lay out for you what I hope will be an outstanding physical education activity-based year or semester. So I want to go over all of the grading criteria for any of the physical education classes you will have here at Framingham High School. So the first thing is first, you have to understand that being a phys ed student, learning remotely, or whether you are hybrid and in person, things are not what you probably have ever remembered them to be. So just keep in mind, an optimistic lens is essential to look through as you embark on what we know will be a successful school year. If you tell yourself that this year is going to be dull, boring, frustrating, you're going to hate it, then unfortunately all of those things above will come true. So positivity can go a long way, and so I'm going to ask that if we're asking you to do jumping jacks in your living room or in front of us in the gym, that you just do the best that you can and understand that a lot of time just watching screens and sort of being sedentary is not great. So it's going to be awesome for you to at least have some mobility and movement during our class. So let's get started. Grading criteria. You need to always arrive to class on time, and this means both virtually as well as in person. And as always the case, if you arrive really just on time, you're probably going to be a few minutes late. So try to get to class even a little bit earlier, whether you're being on the Zoom call or in person. You want to dress appropriately for class, again, regardless if you're in person or if you are on your Zoom or remote. So you want to have clothes that will be conducive to activity, conducive to mobility. You don't want to have clothes that are going to restrict you. And we'll talk about that a little later. One of the most important hallmarks of success when you're working with others is that you understand that there are significant differences between all students, all people. We're very fortunate that we are here at Framingham High School. I personally believe that this is one of the best high schools really around because it creates opportunities for other kids, other students, other adults in the building to get to know different views, values, and opinions. And we are an incredibly diverse population, so it's really important for us to understand that there's a value in diversity. There's a value in learning other cultures and beliefs. So please, I'm going to always ask that you respectfully disagree if you don't believe in a certain value that another student is espousing. But please just understand and embrace the fact that we are able to be involved in hearing other people's expertise and opinions and just points of view. So please respect others. That's really very, very pivotal in our class. In addition, whether you're in class or even at home, you want to treat your facilities with care, our facilities with care. Try to always make sure you have a safe space with which to work, and always make sure that there's nothing going to get broken in your area if you're at home, and certainly always make sure you connect with any adult in your house to make sure that you're able to perform different movement exercises and activities in the space that you're envisioning as your workout space. And of course, as always, just try to avoid chewing gum, whether you're in school or at home. It's not great when you're working out with some kind of food in your mouth, so please keep that at a very, very minimum. In terms of our dress code, we just want to make sure that you've got shorts or pants, yoga pants, wind pants, something that's going to allow you to really move around and not be restricted. You also should have athletic sneakers. something that's not going to mark any of your floors at your house or mark the gym floors. Just make sure, again, they are not super high, like a big high top sneaker. We don't want you to hurt your ankles. So they definitely should be athletic sneakers that are going to give you a chance to really move around. You should have a shirt or a sweatshirt. I've got like this 3/4 zip, kind of like a sweatshirt on today. A t-shirt is fine, but no button-up shirts. Those are dress shirts, and they're going to restrict and confine you. So please avoid that. And of course, if you've got jewelry, that's okay, but they really shouldn't be, say, like those big hoop earrings that might get caught when you're working out, or a wallet that's got a chain on it. So just really keep your jewelry to a minimal. And also understand with your jewelry that if you do bring jewelry to school, we really aren't going to be going into the locker rooms. If we do, we'll be able to lock them up. But just in general, we will definitely need to make sure that we don't leave anything valuable out when we do go back into the gym and into the school. So please keep that in mind. In terms of our phys ed rules, no cell phone use. Don't have your cell phones on. Don't be searching the web or social media, or just make sure you're really paying attention to the class. It's really important. You don't want to miss anything. The connections are always going to be more difficult and challenging when we're remote, so that you don't want to add extra distractions to you. So just make sure you are focused on the screen and you're focused on your classmates and certainly me as the teacher. Also, make sure that you're not eating, you're not having a full breakfast, syrup and pancakes. And we'd like that you always have your food before or after the camera, before or after the class, just so that you can, again, not be distracted about something else that you're doing and really be able to focus on the task at hand. In terms of what we do for our class, we are going to embrace a certain grading rubric that might be a bit different than we've done in the past. So we're going to be pretty much asking that each day you come to class, whether we're on full Zoom or when we're hybrid, or some parts of it we're on Classroom, or I should say Canvas, but whatever it is that we're doing, you're going to have a grading scale of 0 to 5 every single day. So this is a participation-based class. So you want to make sure that each day you do arrive to class probably before the time it starts, that you have your Zoom video on, that you have your learning space ready to go. Rather than just sort of rolling out of bed, throwing the camera on, are you already in a clean space where you can move around, and is everything already out of view if it was going to be creating an obstacle for you? Also, unmute and speak whenever it's time and appropriate to do so. Please keep your comments relevant and respectful. And we always are going to ask that you participate in full effort. Be attentive to other classmates and the teacher. You want to make sure you're fully immersed in the conversations and dialogue that's taking place. That's how you're going to really benefit, mostly from the class. If you're in person, same thing really applies, right? You want to arrive to class on time. You want to make sure that you've got whatever you need ready to go. You want to make sure you keep your comments appropriate and relevant. And of course, you always want to be participating in your full effort with full respect. So if you could keep all that stuff in mind, I think you're going to really enjoy the class. In terms of the weighting scale, we really have 3 categories. We have participation, which is 60% of the grade, and then tests and quizzes. Those will be 10%, and that's going to be followed by our assessments, which will be about 30%. So each day, if you come in and you are receiving always 5 points each day, you're going to do quite well, because the Likert scale rubric goes from always is a 5, and then mostly is a 4, sometimes is a 3, rarely is a 2, and then 1 is pretty much never, and then of course 0 is if you are absent, and that's my next piece of information to communicate with you. If you are absent from class, you do get a 0 from that class, and that's a participation grade of a 0. You are allowed to make up 3 of those classes, but that is it after that. Now, even if you have missed a class, it has to be an excused absence, and it does have to be communicated with me prior to your miss. So if you're not feeling well, you're going to send me an email or post to my Canvas. Just make sure that you communicate with me to let me know you're not going to be there because you're not feeling well or whatever it might be. And again, over the course of the term, there are 2 terms over the course of the term, you'll have no more than 3. And if you have anything more than that, you'll have to supply a doctor's note. But we'll never need an email from your parents. You are high school students. You are self-advocates. So we want to make sure we hear your voice. You have a voice for sure. We'd like you to be able to feel like you're in a safe space to exercise that voice and communicate it with me as your teacher to let me know if you're not able to be there. Once you have missed a class, you can then connect and we will talk about when you can make up the class. And the makeup points during remote will be virtual type of makeup assignments. And if you are in class, they might be opportunities where you can make up maybe after school. And we really haven't gotten the green light on that. But at some point, there'll be other opportunities. We hope, fingers crossed, of course, to see you after school to make up that for full credit. So keep that in mind. You get to build your own grade this semester. And I know we're going to have a ton of fun. You've been quarantining, you've been sort of isolated, and now you're able to kind of get back with your classmates. And so we hope you really take advantage of this and really bring with you every single class period, whether it be in person or remote, with as optimistic as a personality, as an outlook as you possibly can. And I know we'll all have a great semester.